All right, so we are looking at our circle where we cut out a 45, 45, 90 triangle yesterday. And today I'm just going to literally turn it upside down because it makes it easier for me if I think about doing it in this quadrant. And I am going to take my protractor and I am going to put the hole, where the two lines meet, where the arrow is, whatever you want to look at it. And I am going to put it on top of 90, right in the middle again. So it should be going up like this. And this time I am going to put a line at 30 degrees. Now again, I'm going to draw a line from the center to that so it intersects my circle. I want to make sure it intersects my circle. Everybody should be doing this right now. I'm not sure why people aren't. So you should have your paper in front of you. Go to the second page. You should have this in front of you. If you lost yours, yeah, beautiful. If you lost yours, there's more up here, so you should get it out right now. You should take your protractor, pick up your protractor. You should put it right in the middle of your circle and make a line at 30 degrees. Okay, see how these intersecting lines, this 90 straight up and down and this one sideways, they should go right over 90. Make sure they're set up nicely. Put a line, little mark at 30. And then we're going to draw a line from the center over. So we have this nice thing here. Now we're going to draw one that's straight up and down because we're going to create a triangle. Okay. You should have this nice triangle here. If anybody's struggling, let me know, but everybody should have this right here, where this is a 30-degree triangle. So this is 90 degrees right here. So what would this other spot be right here? It would have to be 60 degrees, correct? Because triangles have to add up to 180. So this has to be 60 degrees. Okay. If you're struggling, you can always talk to the person next to you, but everybody should have this right here on their paper. I'm going to walk around. Make sure you label the 30, the 60, and the 90 in there. Anybody struggling, please let me know. No, we're doing another one. 30, 60, 90. Okay, once it's all set, I don't know what happens with the rest of it. What did you do? The little protractor down. All right, now we're going to find the side lengths. Now we're going to find the side lengths of this, okay? So we know, because it tells me in the directions, we talked about it yesterday, the length of the radius of this circle, so the hypotenuse of this triangle, is 1. Okay, now we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, right? So before moving on, maybe we should take out our homework for tonight. And then we'll come right back to this. So if we look at our homework from tonight, it gives me my equation right here that talks about a 30, 60, 90 triangle We have the smallest side across from 30 degrees is x. The next biggest side across from 60 degrees is x square root 3. And then my hypotenuse is double my shortest side. So let's do one of these where I'm missing one of the sides. So let's just look at number 1. Let's just look right now at number 1. I know my smallest side is across from 30 degrees. So do we agree that 3 is my smallest side right here? And my hypotenuse has been doubled. It's 6. Which means y has to be 3 times the square root of 3. Okay? Now we're going to go back to our paper, and we are going to figure out the lengths of that triangle where my hypotenuse is just 1. Okay. So my hypotenuse is 1, which means the side across from 30 is going to be what? So if we look, if 1 equals 2x, what is x going to equal? So we have to divide both sides by 2, so x equals a half. So this length right here, from this point to this point, is a half. Okay, so if we've got a half, I know, according to my 30, 60, 90 triangle, that I take whatever the smallest side is and I times it by the square root 3. So I'm going to take 1/2 and I'm going to times it by square root 3. All right, so what's 1 times square root 3? Square root 3, right? Anything that doesn't have a number on the bottom of a fraction has 1. So it's just square root 3 over 2 is my answer. So across from 60 degrees, that should be square root 3 over 2. The hypotenuse across from 90 should be 1. And across from 30 degrees, I should have 1/2. If you have all of these things written down, you can start cutting out your triangle. And you do not need the rest of this circle, so any way you cut it out is fine. Just make sure it's as neat as possible. Once you have all this information, go ahead and cut it out. You do not need the circle anymore. Okay? You need yesterday's circle where you did 45, 45, 90. Like, it looks like this, all pretty. But this we're going to cut out right now. If you did not do a 45, 45, 90 triangle yesterday, you're going to want to, because you were absent, you're going to want to keep your circle. Everybody else, we can toss it. Okay. Once you have this, turn it over. Once you have it all cut out, turn it over and do everything on the other side. So you should have 30, 60, 90 on the other side. You should have 1/2, 1, and square root 3 over 2 on the other side. Draw everything on that you have on one side on the other.
Why do we do that?
So when we flip it over, it's already there. You don't have to, like, peel it up. Do we need to what? You do not need yesterday's anymore. If you kept yesterday's, you're good, but you do not need it anymore. Ashton, can I have your test, baby? Oh, let's switch over. All right, so now I am going to take my 30, 60, 90 triangle that I have cut out, correct? Cut it out. I'm going to take 30 degrees and put it right at the origin. Do you see how I have it right there? And now I am going to trace this triangle. So it needs to be a different color than you used yesterday. And you're tracing that. Okay, this red line that I drew here is 30 degrees. If I'm going from the point in the origin to this point up here on my unit circle, how much did I go over? Let's look again. I'm going to have to go this way. How much did I go over to get there? It says it at the bottom of the triangle. How much did I go over, guys? Square root 3 over 2. Good. How much did I go up? 1/2. Notice they're both positive, right? Okay. You ready? I'm going to reflect over the y-axis, which is why I make the stuff on both sides. Now I am going to trace this triangle. Okay? Now this is a little bit harder, right? I went over, I'm 30 less than 80, 180. What's 180 minus 30, guys? 150. So this is 150 degrees right here. This red line in this quadrant. Okay. How much, I want to go from 0, 0, and I want to get to this point here. But I can't go sideways. I can only go right or left, up or down. So how much did I go over? Negative square root 3 over 2. Beautiful. And then did I go up or down? Up how much? 1/2. So positive 1/2. Okay. Now I'm going to reflect over the x-axis. And I'm going to trace my triangle again. Same color for all of these so far. I have my blue from yesterday, and this is my red for today. Okay, so 180 plus 30. Okay, 180, 190, 200, 210, right? So this is 210. Okay. How much, if I want to go from 0, 0 to this point on my unit circle, what did I do? I went over negative square root 3 over 2, and I went down 1/2, negative 1/2. Trace this on your circle. Where's your cutout triangle? Where's your other circle? Okay. All right. Now we're going to reflect it across the y-axis. Now I'm going to trace this triangle. Okay. This is, we agree, right, that this is also 360 degrees? It's 0 degrees, but I could also, like if I don't go up, but if I go all the way around, that's 360. So this angle right here is 360 minus 30, which would be 330. Okay, I want to get to this point right here on my unit circle, so I went over how much? Square root 3 over 2. And did I go up or down? How much? 1/2, yeah, negative 1/2. Everybody should have a circle that looks like this. They should be tracing these. You get credit for doing this, guys, so I'm giving you points. Okay, I want you guys to get a different color, a color that you haven't used yet. A different color that you haven't used yet. And we're going to move our triangle around. We're going to change. So we've been doing 30 degrees right here, right? Now I'm going to take my triangle and make it so that it is 60 degrees. Making it so that it's 60 degrees. And then I'm going to trace this triangle. Okay? And right here, this green line is 60 degrees. Shh. Okay. So if I'm going from the middle to this point right here in the unit circle, I'm going to go to the right how much? 1/2. And I'm going to go up how much? Square root 3/2. Okay, now what do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to reflect it over the y-axis. And I'm going to trace this one with a colored pencil. Yep. Okay, 90 degrees, or we could think of it as 180 minus 60. So this green line right here should be 120 degrees. Okay, and I want to get to this point right here. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go over how much? What kind of 1/2? And I'm going to go up how much? Square root 3/2. Yep. Okay, now I'm going to reflect this over your x-axis. I'm going to trace this triangle right here. Okay. If we think of it as 180 plus 60 more, so 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240 degrees. Okay, if I want to go from this point right here to this point right here, I'm going to go negative 1/2. Negative, can you guys see it? No. You're just going to let me write? Okay. Square root 3/2. Okay, final one, guys. I'm going to reflect it over the y-axis. I'm going to trace this. Okay, so 270 plus 60. So 270. 280, 290, 300. Wait. 270, 280, 290, 300. Uh-oh. Hold on. Yeah, it's 300. There we go. So right here is 300. Okay, I'm not sure why we're talking. Remember, this is recording, and it's really good microphone, so it's picking up everything you say. So I'd stop right now. Okay, so I'm going to go to the right, how much? Positive 1/2. If we go to the right, it's positive. Left is negative. And I'm going to go where next? Down square root 3/2. Okay. Right here, this is our unit circle. This paper that you just made, we're going to use for the rest of this unit. So you want to keep this. Sometime I'll make you a slightly different one. But right now, this is what we're going to use. We're going to talk about things like sine, cosine, and tangent, using these fun little numbers on the outside. We're going to talk more about that on Monday, where sine, cosine, and tangent comes from, and how we're going to use these. You're going to need this. I don't want you to have to memorize this. If you lose this, you will. I'm going to leave this up here, especially for people who didn't get the 45, 45, 90 triangle. But those of you who did not get the 45, 45, 90 triangle, need to take out your circle, draw a 45, 90 triangle in your unit circle, cut it out, flip it over 4 times, and write these things down. Okay? You have the rest of the hour to work on your homework for tonight. I'm checking in the homework and the unit circle on Monday. Both things. They're credit. Okay.